Welcome back, masters, to another video. I hope you guys have been amazing, and I hope you guys are having very successful trades. I've been away for a little bit testing and just experimenting on some certain rules and certain concepts that some new perspective that I have on the market, and just combining certain rules that I have to follow at all times. So that's what I've been doing. And in this video, I'll do an update analysis on EuroCAD. An update analysis on EuroCAD. I have the monthly chart here, so I'm just going to run through it, and we'll see how this is looking. So as we can see, we have the monthly time frame here, and from the monthly time frame we are in an uptrend. We had a low here that broke these highs above, retested the level here, went to here, came down, did a structural retest, broke these highs, came down. Okay, again, this was not a structural retest, because this was a structural retest of this supply. So this came, tested this level, did a structural retest at a high, and now we expect a structural retest of this impulse, and we are here to break these highs on the monthly, but this is more long term. So we're not going to put in a buy position here and hold it until price reaches all the way up here to break these monthly highs, because lower time frame will wipe you out. So we can see that from the monthly, we are very low in the curve on the monthly, which this drop was not supply. This drop was a structural retest of this demand here to break these highs, and that's a rule that we have. The highs must be broken. So we know where we are on the monthly, and we know we have a bullish perspective on the monthly, and as we can see from our indicator, we are low in the curve and price is turning at the bottom as shown here. Now let's go to the weekly and see what the weekly is doing. So from the weekly, we can see that we had a downtrend here, but things have changed here. So we had a retest of this impulse, which came to here, did a structural retest of this level to break the lows as stated. Did a structural retest of this level to break the lows, and it broke the lows, but by a small amount, and we have to take that into consideration as well. The amount of distance it breaks the level is very significant, to our rules. So we see that it didn't break it by a lot, like how it broke the previous, low. So we see that things are changing, the momentum is slowing down a bit. So now we expect a structural retest of this drop to see what's going to happen next. So price went up, but it was not a structural retest because it did not break these lows. So if this was not a structural retest, then this is demand here, and this is a structural retest of demand to break these highs, and that what price did, went up and broke these highs right here. So now on the weekly, we have this impulse here, that did a structural retest to break these highs. So we are now at highs broken, and we expect a structural retest of this impulse to continue down here to do a structural retest to go back up to break these highs up here. So now on the weekly, we know that we're in a state of a structural retest or the demand to be taken out. So we expect price to drop into these areas where I have the red line here, but we'll go into that more when we go into lower time frame. So we can see from the weekly, we had a break of the trend. There, because we have to connect the two latest peaks, but we cannot connect this low because this would invalidate the rules. So we have to follow the rules because this did not create a lower low. If this created a lower low, then the trend would be like this, but it did not. So that's the trend, and we can see that the trend was broken. The trend was broken, which tells us that when a trend is broken, let me find my demand tool. We have demand. Oops. But we already stated that. We already stated that we had demand. Let's get our demand color. Let's use sky blue. But we already stated that we had demand here. Stated that this drop was a structural retest of demand to break these here. So we already knew that we had demand here. So we're just using it as confluence to see that the trend was broken. We have demand here, and we're currently on a structural retest. So let's go to the daily and see what happens. So on the daily, we see that the daily trend, and we see that the trend was broken here. See that the trend was broken here, and I have these two lines where price must come down to and revert from to continue to go back up and break these highs, or it can come to this level here. If it breaks this level, then it was not a structural retest. It was indeed supply, and then we wait for a structural retest of supply to go lower, or we wait for price to come back up into these areas. Let's go to the 4-hour. I do not want to make this video too long. Let me, what level is this? Oh, this past levels. This can be deleted. Okay, so as we can see from the 4-hour, we have this impulse here. And now we expected a structural retest of this impulse to break this high here. So price came back down to here, expecting a structural retest. Price went up, did not break these lows. So this was not a structural retest. So this is supply. So that's why we have our supply level here. And now this becomes a structural retest of supply to break these lows. Price went back down, did not break these lows. So this was in fact not a structural retest. So now we have a structural retest of this, which becomes more supply here to break these lows, and that's what we have. The lows were broken here. So now we wait for a structural retest of this to come back up and then come down to break these lows, or this to be taken out. And we already stated that we are expecting a structural retest of this, so we expect price to come lower to here or even to here. And if it breaks here, then we invalidate the structure. So we are waiting for this to be over to get in longs to go back up. And thank you guys for watching. Hope this video helped you guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.